Hey guys, welcome to Talking Umbrella Travel. Of course, my name is Jeremy, and I'm here going to be interviewing Megan and Andrew about their recent trip to Disney World. I've asked them to come on and talk to us just for a little bit about what the experience was like at Disney with all the restrictions, all the social distancing, all the things in place that make Disney different. And I wanted them just to kind of share their opinions of that. Of course, we talked to Brittany and Rick last night, who spent pretty much just a couple days. And so want to talk to Megan and Andrew as well, and ask them just some questions that maybe will help you understand what it's like to go to Disney during this time. So Megan and Andrew, thank you so much for coming and being a part of this. I know that y'all had a great time at Disney. And just a little side note, first of all, Megan and Andrew are getting married in October. Megan and Andrew are getting married in Disney World. So that's why they were going. They had some wedding preparations, some scouting to do, some things to take care of while they were there. So they figured while they were in Orlando, they would hit the parks. And they are going to have one of the best wedding officiants ever marry them. That's right. Jeremy Harper is doing the wedding of Megan and Andrew at Disney in the wedding pavilion, and it is going to be awesome. So, man, bring on October, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, well, let's talk about your trip itself. Before you traveled, now I know that both of you guys are super Disney fans, as you can see from your curtains and Andrew's shirt, and if you can see Megan's shirt, it's a Disney shirt too. Did you have any worries before you started to prepare to travel? Any worries in your mind about how it was going to be?
I was worried, not so much that Disney wasn't going to, provide a safe environment, but that the guests weren't going to follow instructions or, crowd together. And that wasn't the case at all. But that was basically my only worry. I don't think he was worried at all. But yeah, that was mine.
I know I read and I saw stuff online about the whole distancing between lines and all that. And I felt pretty confident that they would, keep everyone safe.
And they do enforce it. So there wasn't any. That worry was, as soon as I got there, I wasn't worried anymore.
You were officially in Disney mode, right?
Yeah.
So you guys stayed, remind me, you stayed where?
Pop Century.
Pop Century. Do you remember it was a standard or preferred room?
It was standard.
Standard room. Okay, cool. How was the check-in process? I know that it's different now with what they want you to do, the online check-in. Did you do online check-in or did you do standard check-in?
We did online check-in, but we drove in, so we got there really early. There's a chat where you can chat with cast members from My Disney Experience. We could have done that, but we didn't. We just walked into the hotel. They had plexiglass, the markers on the floor. So we just told them that we were there and if our room was ready early to let us know. And then we went to the park.
So
and then a little while later.
They stored your luggage for you, or you kept it in your car?
We kept it in the car. Just 'cause, I know they would store it, but we just kept it in the car. And then a few hours later, they texted us that our room was ready. And then on the app, we could see our room number, and we never had to go back to the front desk for the rest of the trip.
And you used your Magic Band, or did you use your phone?
We did. We used our Magic Band, but we could have used the phone.
Right. Yeah. For folks that don't know, Disney is slowly really pushing the online check-in portion. As she mentioned, they're sending you your room number ahead of time. Your Magic Band now, of course, has always gotten you in your room. There's also a digital key on the My Disney Experience app or the Disney World app that will let you open your room with your phone as well. So yeah, all good things there. So the check-in process seemed pretty seamless. Of course, the room wasn't ready. You got your room number, you came back, and that's really cool. As you were at your resort, as you were at Pop Century, of course, as folks know, that's a value resort in the value category. How did your resort deal with the health and safety things that have to happen nowadays?
So at the Pop Century, the gift shop and the dining area or the food court are connected. You have to go through one to get to the other. So they were stationed at the entrance. So if you wanted to go into the gift shop, they were counting people. And if there were too many people in the gift shop, you would wait outside, distanced by the markers. And then if you were going into the dining area, you had to show that you had a mobile order before they would let you in. And then once you were in, if with your mobile order, it's literally like grab and go. By the time you get to the table where they have the food set up, your food was there in a bag. It had my name on it. We just grabbed it, sat at the table. The tables were also, reserved for distancing. And then the refillable mugs, they would fill it in a cup for you, and then you pour it into your mug. So you can still use those, but they're doing it for you with a different cup.
And everything that they did, you felt safe and secure with what they were doing?
Yes, and then in our room, our remote control for the TV was packaged in a little plastic bag saying that it was sanitized, the remote was. And then in the resort, there was also a list of extra things that they did, like cleaning the handles on the doors or the cabinets or anything like that. It listed all the extra steps that they were taking. So we thought that was pretty cool. To be able to read everything that they were doing in the room.
And to exit the gift shop in the dining area, you had to go outside to like the buses.
Yeah, so you couldn't. Usually, you can go in and out of the entrance or the exit, but you can only go in one way and out the other. It was raining outside, so I was just trying to go in, and they were like, "No, you have to go around the other way." And we didn't get wet because it's covered, but they will not let you exit the same way you came in.
Sounds like as long as you were willing to go with the safety measures put in place, that you felt safe, and two, it was kind of seamless. They were really working hard to
They are working extremely hard, and I could see if somebody was having a bad day that would get aggravating. But you just have to remember you're in Disney, and they're doing everything that they can to make us feel better.
Yeah. Side question about the resort. You were in a standard room, I think is what you said, correct? Yeah. Was y'all's room remodeled? Was it with the pull-down bed?
It was. We loved it. It was really nice with no carpet, with the pull-down bed. Everything was really nice in there.
Yeah. Most of the, and again, for folks that don't know, most of the rooms, I think all the rooms now at Pop Century, all of the different decades, again, the buildings are separated into decades. All of the rooms have been remodeled. There's no more carpet. Everything's really almost like, wouldn't you kind of think minimalistic, very, very simple, still Disney touches. And the biggest thing is you have that full-size, queen-size bed that you've always had at a Disney resort. Now you have another pull-down queen-size bed as well that also functions, I believe, as a table if you don't pull it down.
Yeah, we never pulled it down, so it was a table. And it was a lot of space compared to how it usually is in those rooms. And the bathroom was really nice, too. The shower and everything was really updated.
Remind me, is it a tub and shower combo or just a shower?
It is a tub and shower combo. It was, oh my gosh, it was just so clean and pretty. I was really shocked. I've stayed at Pop forever, but I've never stayed with the updated rooms. So it was for the first time I've seen it. It was really pretty.
It was definitely the coolest shower head I've ever seen in my life.
Why do you say that?
It had one that went straight over and went straight down on you, and then it also had like a middle section that you could pull out. And
nice.
Like that. It was, whenever I got in that shower, I felt really good.
So it had like the I think it's called the waterfall shower head, and then a body head as well. That's awesome. I didn't know that about those. Speaking of the bathrooms, Andrew, since you were in there taking a good shower, did they have the H2O products and the pump on the wall?
Yes.
Got you. Yeah, most of those have moved on to that. Well, good. I'm glad that you could see that they were working. I'm glad you got one of those refurbished rooms, and Pop's doing a great job of those.
The question really close to the Skyliner too.
Yes, they share a Skyliner station with Art of Animation, correct? Yes. Did y'all get a chance to use the Skyliner?
We did. We took it. It connects at Caribbean Beach, and then we took it to Hollywood Studios.
So I'm going to ask you a question about the Skyliner then, since you mentioned the Skyliner. Everybody wants to know. Okay, so it was July. You were in the Skyliner. You didn't bake like a turkey in the Skyliner?
No, it was great. We could feel the breeze. My hair was blowing.
They have it to where it's cracked open at the top, so all like wind just flows in there. Right. It felt good.
I remember so many people telling me, I'm never taking the Skyliner in July in the Florida heat, and everyone now says, hey, it's actually kind of comfortable in here.
It is. So, and it's so big. It's much bigger than I thought it was going to be.
It's very quick too.
Yeah. It cuts across all that traffic. There's no bus to have to worry about. Let's talk about, did you use any of the Disney buses while you were there?
We did. So when we were leaving Hollywood Studios, like I said, we took the Skyliner there. There was lightning in the area, so it wasn't running. So we took a bus. And the bus situation was actually really good too. So in the line for the buses, we were spaced out. And then when we got on the bus, it's kind of like a ride. He says, how many? We said two. And then he will give you a number to go to. And at that number, you're separated with plexiglass. So if we had a family of four, he would give us a number that had 4 seats with plexiglass on both sides. So that was really nice, where they tell you exactly where to sit. You don't have to worry about it. There's nobody standing, and everybody's separated.
Once again, Disney doing a really good job of keeping people safe, keeping people separate. I like that a lot. So so before all this, the question was always, how hot is it in the Skyliner? Now, with all these different changes, everybody wants to know, how are the crowds? What is it like to be in a crowded Disney park when everybody is hot and sweaty and wearing a mask?
So there are no crowds. So that makes everything a lot easier. If it were a regular Disney day, crowded with the heat, with the mask, I could see that being an issue. But there are no crowds. So you're not as hot as you would typically think you are, especially in the middle of July. And the mask does not make it any worse. I'm always hot in Disney. I've gone on Christmas Day and I was hot. So it's Florida. So, the mask didn't make me any hotter than I usually would be in Disney anyway. So it didn't make me more uncomfortable, nothing like that. And then the crowds are so minimal. Like, we literally walked right down the middle of Main Street. And, it was like I had tears in my eyes. It was so amazing. And then we noticed details on buildings that we've never noticed before, especially back in Frontierland at the top of Pecos Bill and everything like that. I never looked up there because I'm always just trying to beat the crowd to the next place. So it was really nice without the crowd.
Well, that's awesome. I'm very glad that that you had a chance to experience that. I know a lot of folks would like to experience that as well. Speaking of masks, what kind of mask did y'all wear while you were there, if you don't mind me asking?
So I started with a vintage kind of mask, like with the trifolds, which was fine. I ordered it off of Etsy, but in the middle of the trip, I bought one of the Disney masks. And this is my favorite mask that I've ever had. And I have a few, but this is so comfortable. It's like a t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't feel like my nose is smashed. Like, it fits really good. You don't even feel it by your ears. So I recommend to everybody to buy the Disney mask. Even if you're not going to Disney, just order them. They're awesome.
I noticed I have the same one, by the way, that you have. And it's the ears. Like, the material's the material. I can't really, it's one thing or another, but I've noticed it doesn't pull on my ears as much. And for those folks who want Disney mask, you can go to shopdisney.com. They have lots of styles there of that same soft material. All the masks are the same material. And they started off with small, medium, and large. What size do you have, Megan?
Large.
Large. Okay. I do too.
The medium I did get for my little sister. She's 7. I wouldn't get a small unless I had like an infant. They're really small.
Yeah. And Disney just released online extra large.
Well,
now is a mask size, and I'm probably an extra large mask person. But yeah, I have a large right now. I'm hoping to get an extra large just because it would fit my gigantic head better.
Yeah, I think a lot of people could benefit from the extra large.
Yeah, like I feel like mine kind of sits like this. I needed to sit like that. So yeah, absolutely. Okay, so when I say how were crowds, there were no crowds. Tell me a little bit about the dining that you experienced and the safety protocols and measures that you saw during your dining experiences.
So most quick services and some of the carts, like the snack cart in Galaxy's Edge for the blue milk, they were all mobile order. So you can't just walk up and order something. Even if there's no line, you have to mobile order, which I know that was offered prior to all of this. I just never used it. I always thought it was going to be a hassle, but it's amazing. So We would mobile order, like on the way to wherever we were going to eat. And by the time we got there, it was ready. Pick up the food and get a table and eat. There were no lines to order food because you can't get in line to order food. You have to mobile order. And then like before, it was always trouble finding a table because some people just take a table and they're not even eating. But with this situation, like I said, the tables are spread out, but they're reserved for anybody with a mobile order. So within 10 minutes, we were able to walk straight across Magic Kingdom, get our food, sit down, and eat. And I had just ordered it like 10 minutes ago.
I want to say we had ordered it for Cosmic Rays. Where were we at?
We were at Pirates.
I think we were like, what? Maybe even a little bit closer to that. And they had it already ready, and we didn't have to stop or anything. We showed them the order and then walked right in. It was ready.
And they won't let you in the quick service restaurants, like the actual like Cosmic Rays or the Pizza Rizzo. They won't let you in any of those places unless you have a mobile order and it's ready. So that's really nice. And then in a table service restaurant, we ate at the Grand Floridian Cafe. And when we sat down, also when you sit down, obviously you can take your mask off to eat and drink. When we sat down, there were no menus. There were just the QR codes. So you can scan it on your phone and look at the menu. But if you would like a menu, they will give you one. We just didn't want to touch them. We didn't want to deal with them. So we just did it from our phone. And then when they bring you your check, they bring it in a paper little folder thing so that they can dispose of it after. It's not the typical like leather checkbooks that they would give. And then also in the quick service, which I thought was great, usually you know how you have the little pump where you get your forks and your knives. It's like a touch only yours kind of system where the handle is sticking out, and you have to like really tug on it to get it out of there before the next one comes out. So nobody's touching the one that you're going to have. So I really like that.
Yeah. And that's again, that's that increased safety that we've heard Disney doing. I watched one of your live videos because I needed a touch of Disney too, and I think I noticed. Tell me a little bit about how often did you see hand sanitizers? How often did you see hand washing stations? Things like that for me.
So the hand sanitizer. So just like the garbage cans in Disney, where every so many steps you see a garbage can, it's the same thing with hand sanitizer. And then it's also when you walk onto a ride, there's probably like 3 or 4 at the entrance. And then when you get about halfway through, there's another one. And then when you get on the ride, there's another one. And when you get off the ride, there's like 4 more. So they're everywhere. They're always full. We never saw an empty one.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
And then there's also the these pop-up hand washing stations that are sporadic and they're controlled with a foot pedal. So you can actually wash your hands with soap and water if you wanted to without going into the bathrooms. Which, by the way, the bathrooms were the cleanest I've ever seen them. They're so clean.
Yeah, everybody's focused on cleanliness, and Disney is no exception.
And the hand sanitizers also the entrance and the exits of the gift shop. Like I said, even in the park, you can only go in one door of the gift shop and out the other doors because they're counting how many people are in the store. They have hand sanitizer everywhere, and then especially like where they sell the Pandora jewelry, they watch you sanitize before you go touch anything. So everything was really clean.
And the to walk in and out of like for the Emporium, to go like on the north and south side, like the only entrances, but only the middle is the exit. So it really is very like.
Well, it was backwards. The middle was the entrance.
Yeah.
The rest were the exits.
Yeah, so
they're really controlling who goes in and out.
For folks that have not been or have not been in a while, as you're walking down Main Street, that entire left-hand side is just one big store with different themes. There's doors that open into Main Street, and then at the end, as they're mentioning, that's where the exits are, down by Casey's Corner and down by at the entrance to Town Square down there. 2 questions come to mind as you were talking. First of all, how did you like the blue milk?
Well, I thought it was pretty good.
What is it? What does it taste? What does it taste like?
It's kind of like a fruity kind of taste.
I thought it was like citrusy. I didn't like it.
It's definitely not a milky taste. For sure.
It does or it does not?
It does not.
Does not have a milky taste. Okay.
There's a blue one and a green one. We didn't try the green one.
Okay, yeah. So the green one's supposed to be a little bit more citrus, even than that one.
Oh.
There's also blue and green milk slush there as well. And then the other question I had was, how did you enjoy Grand Floridian Cafe?
We really enjoyed the Grand Floridian Cafe. We had both never been there.
And with it being such like kind of like a condensed crowd in there, like you have to get reservations, the food comes out very quick.
It does.
We ordered within maybe 10 minutes. Everything was already out to the table. It was very quick.
And when we got there, we checked in on our phone so that we were there. And then we just kind of explored the lobby of the Grand Floridian. And then they texted us that our table was ready. And we went right in. And then the tables, again, are distanced. So we were not close to anybody in the restaurant. Servers, obviously, wearing masks. They're very careful. They're not touching a whole bunch of stuff. And the QR codes are on the table. But the food was amazing. Yeah. So we did the breakfast. It was really good. So we definitely want to go back on our next trip.
And for folks that have never eaten at the Grand Floridian Cafe, I was telling them before we started recording, it's one of those hidden gems that breakfast, lunch, or dinner. I've done lunch and dinner. I've never done breakfast. She was mentioning that they had eggs Benedict, correct?
Yes.
And you could have gotten lobster eggs Benedict?
Yes.
Wow. I've gotten the lobster thermidor burger, which is a hamburger patty on a hamburger bun, brioche bun, and they put a butter poached lobster tail on top of that. My wife has gotten the shrimp and grits numerous times. It's a hidden gem, and so for those of you who are going to be making your dining reservations coming up, don't forget that's 60 days now instead of 180 days. You want to make those, get you one for Grand Floridian Cafe. Talking Umbrella Travel and Megan and Andrew say, go try it. It's really, really good.
Yeah, go try it.
I also noticed that you had my wife's favorite snack. You had the Nutella waffle at Sleepy Hollow Treats.
Yeah, that's a must-do every time.
Yes.
I tried their lemonade for the first time, and it was really good.
Well, I've never had their lemonade. It's really good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So it sounds like there was lots and lots of favorites, but if you had to narrow it down, what was your favorite part of this different kind of Disney trip? You've gone to Disney a bunch. You both have. So this is a different kind of Disney trip. What was your favorite part of this different kind of Disney trip?
You want to go first? You want me to go?
You can go first.
Mine, okay, so it was definitely the no crowd. Not just because you can walk on and off of rides, which you can, and it's great, but just for other reasons, like being able, like I said, to walk right down the middle of Main Street, USA, or just shopping without people on top of you. It's just so, I don't know, it's like you have the whole park to yourself. And Hollywood Studios has a little bit more people because everybody wants to see Star Wars, and the park is kind of choppier. But Magic Kingdom it's so spread out. And I mean, even Hollywood Studios, no crowd, but Magic Kingdom is my favorite park. So just being able to feel like you're just home and there's nobody else, there's not so many people crowding you, you can get great pictures, and just enjoy it and walk at a slow pace and see things that you've never seen before. And I've been going there for 25 years and noticed things that I've never seen before.
All right, so I have two favorite things. I really liked how the crowd control was as well. It was very easy to get around. You didn't feel like anyone was touching you. But I think the coolest thing was the character interactions.
Yes.
It's really as if they really live there now. They're not just taking photos every day. They're really interacting with everything. Like the Cinderella's stepsisters are outside the castle.
It's like like when you see the Disney commercials and you see the characters everywhere, you think that's how Disney World is. That's how it is now. So Winnie the Pooh is in the field catching butterflies with a net, and we saw Chip and Dale like floating down.
Tom Sawyer's.
They were in a raft by Tom Sawyer's Island. Like, you see things that you've never seen before. And if you want to take a selfie with them, you can. They'll pose behind you. It's just not like waiting in line for 2 hours, take a picture, walk away. We saw Ray in Galaxy's Edge, and she's holding conversations with people. And if there starts to be a little bit of a crowd, she'll walk away or get up higher and still talk to you from up above. So it's experiences that you've never had. There's never been anything like this before, and it's really great.
They had it was Ray and Chewbacca, and they both split apart, so that way the whole crowd
would split.
So
they're doing a great job. They really are. The characters it was a really cool part.
Yeah.
Okay. What was your second thing, Andrew?
It was the crowds and the
crowd control.
character interaction.
All right.
I also really liked the cavalcades. So there are no parades, and I love Disney, but I hate the crowds for the parades, because when I'm trying to get down the street, it's kind of impossible, depending on what side of the street you're on, to get through those crowds. But with this, we were actually eating the Nutella waffle, and then all of a sudden the music got really loud. We're like, they're coming. And then all of a sudden, the Fab Five comes down the street, and they have some dancers and music, and they're waving. And then that's it. It goes away, and nobody crowds around, and everybody just keeps going about their day.
And it also gives more room to where, like, if you had kids, they can really pick out your child more, or easier, because you're not swamped together.
Right, and they're pointing, and it's just really, those are real. I love those better than parades. I would hope they never bring the parades back. They can just do this.
People who have gone, the folks I've talked to, the family that I talked to last night, they only experienced it in Animal Kingdom, but they said it was all more special than it was than lining up at 3 o'clock. And the thing that so many people like about Disney is that unexpected pixie dust and that unexpected magic. And if I know that Donald is going to be by the Mexico Pavilion all day, it's not as special. But if I turn one of my favorite stories from one of our trips is we were on a Disney cruise, and we were walking down the hallway going to a meal or going to something, and I turned the corner, and there's just Tiana there by herself.
Yeah.
And I'm looking around. This isn't right. There's no handler. There's no crowd. What's happening? And so it's that unexpected magic, that unexpected pixie dust that you're getting during this time that kind of makes it better.
It does. And, same thing like you said with the cruise. On the cruise, it's so much better because you can be walking down the hall and see one of them. And it's just it's the same thing. They're just randomly popping up places. And like I said, we're in the middle of eating, and then all of a sudden here they come, and it's so awesome. All of these things that just randomly happen that you don't expect.
So I know the answer to this already, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Our last question tonight is, you're home now. You've been home for a couple of days. Would you recommend somebody else, another family, who's considering going to Disney, would you recommend them going to Disney right now?
Yes, 100%.
And if this was your first time going, this would probably be the easiest.
Yes.
It really is. It's so much easier to get around the parks and easier to see things.
And so a lot of people that when they go for their first, can you hear our dog barking? I'm sorry.
It's all right.
When they go for their first time, they don't get to see everything. But I think if this was your first time, when you go back to Disney regular, you're going to miss it like this.
Right.
So I think you'd be spoiled if this was your first time going.
So many people are telling me, we really don't want to go right now because of what we feel like they're going to miss out on. And the only thing that I'm hearing, and again, please correct me if I'm wrong, is you're not getting all of the dining experiences, where the characters come up to your table. You're not getting character meals. All the restaurants aren't open, and fireworks. That's essentially, what you're missing. They're not doing any projections on the castle at night, correct?
No. And then some of the dining, we didn't do it, but there are still some character dinings available. They just don't come to your table. They walk around the middle of the restaurant, and they'll pose and take a picture with you. So people can still do that. They're just not going to get like that close selfie.
Right. The only one that I've even seen so far is Topolino's Terrace at Riviera. It's available.
That's the one I was thinking of.
I think Garden Grill is about to, but
Okay.
I haven't heard an opening date on that. Andrew, you were going to say something?
And one of the things, like, some things are closed, but like in Hollywood, one of the stores was closed, and since I'm a weirdo, I was looking in there, and I was like, dang, I'm not going to see the Star Wars stuff anywhere else. But you just have to look a little bit harder. So like there was Star Wars stuff at the middle, but it was really everything in Galaxy's Edge. So if you see something somewhere else, you'll see it somewhere
Right.
And we heard whispers that the fireworks will be coming back shortly, and they have a plan.
Awesome.
So we'll see how that works out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like that because we have a fireworks dessert party coming up for the
Yes,
month.
I would like that too. Well, guys, thank you so much for spending time with me and talking about your experience.
Thank you.
It's been awesome to be able to hear someone's on the ground kind of response to what it was like to be at Disney. If you're interested in booking a trip to Disney, you can always reach out to Talking Umbrella at talkingumbrellatravel@gmail.com. Our Facebook page, of course, is Talking Umbrella Travel. This has been Jeremy with Talking Umbrella Travel, and Megan and Andrew talking about their trip to Disney and how amazing it is, and you really got to go. Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.